doing what we do. A little stronger, a little smarter, a little faster, a little more dangerous.
Boom! Yo, what's up, y'all? Back at it. Byron Rodgers here. Executive protection lifestyle post video real quick. The other day, I went on ahead, did something that I believe is becoming a good idea for more and more security companies. I think more of us need to do something I'm glad that I do and my teams do, and that was take a course from CCW Socal. We were hanging with Tim Kelly and John Rousseau, okay? These gentlemen helped my team navigate a number of quals. Not necessarily, that the quals were so difficult, but we navigated, we went through virtually any and every qual that would be pertinent to prove that we were proficient, that we had a high level of efficacy with a firearm. So we went on ahead and we knocked out local law enforcement quals. We went on ahead and we knocked out federal level quals like FBI quals. We knocked out local CCW quals, and we made sure to find an instructor with a solid pedigree, with a solid background that certifies and qualifies shooters for a number of different organizations, so that we could have someone vouch for us on our behalf with regards specifically to our proficiency, in order to hedge against liability if, in fact, unfortunately, we find ourselves in an armed encounter that has to do with firearms specifically. We went on ahead and did that the other day, and not only is it a total warm and fuzzy because you end up navigating all these quals to prove your proficiency, but you have someone who can take the stands and say, hey, I'm in the firearms training industry, I train law enforcement, I train federal agents, and I trained with these guys, and most importantly tested these guys with regards to their efficacy when it comes to firearms, and they all passed. So we did this in order to hedge ourselves against any liability, and it's something I've been hearing more and more teams are doing, and it's something I'm finally implementing with my teams and teams that I'm a part of, is that we need to make sure that we're covered. We need to make sure that we have someone who can vouch for us, and we need to make sure that within our annual training pipeline, there is something like this that just lends more validity to our firearms training. I mean, so often in the executive protection game, you get to a detail and it's like a pickup game of basketball. You know what I mean? It's, hey, I got this guy from here, I got that guy from there, I got this guy from here, and there's no baseline of efficacy, no baseline of ability, no baseline of like, okay, I know this guy is at least this proficient with his firearm. And so it did a few things for us that I really appreciated. It didn't just show us like, it wasn't just about having the legal coverage, but it was also very much about making sure there's a baseline of proficiency, making sure everyone is at least this good, and then we can build up from there. And inevitably there were those who needed more coaching, and inevitably there were those who needed more help and assistance. But after we all conducted the training, it was a 2-day training. After we all conducted the training, naturally, you feel warm and fuzzy, and there's a higher sense of camaraderie with you and your guys. Something I've noticed, unfortunately, both in executive protection and also in law enforcement. I'm not a law enforcement officer, but I've been around a lot of them and all those types of things. Is getting people to train without paying them to train is almost impossible. Unfortunately, that's why I wear the hat. It's more than just a job. It really is a lifestyle. Boom, because it is to me, because I love what I do. I love investing in myself, and so I spend a considerable amount of time training skills that are, going to come in handy at my job, strengthening my body, strengthening my mind, and learning skill sets that are, personal protection and, safety centric, right? I know it can be difficult to get your team out. I know it can be difficult to get your roster to come out and do some training, but I want to encourage you business owners, and I want to encourage you team leaders, I want to encourage you detail leaders to try to get your people out and get them to train. Because if you're really seriously preparing for an armed encounter, if you're really seriously, don't get me wrong, my company and the companies I work with, we have pipelines of training. You have annual training you need to go through. But I just know in the rest of the industry, a lot of us just show up on a detail and we're with other people, and all of a sudden we just expect ourselves to be able to perform at a certain level, and it's just not true. You haven't done any rehearsals, and you don't know how proficient and efficient that person is when they degrade to their lowest form of training. You really don't know who you're getting in bed with and how they're going to react. So I want to encourage you guys to get out there and do that. But also I want to draw attention to Tim, man. And Tim and John, they did an amazing job. They took us through all the quals. The folks who needed help, they got them the help they needed. They helped them become more proficient. They helped them become more efficient. There were guys that learned quite a bit, which is always good. We're always there to learn. We did, multiple law enforcement quals, multiple CCW quals, multiple Marine Corps quals, and we did not even just a low light shoot. Most low light shoots are just basically just like a normal day shoot with it's like dusk. No, we did a night shoot. Do the mechanisms you want to work, you want to learn, you think you can use at night. Do they actually work at night? Do your glow-in-the-dark night sights, tritium night sights really work? What good's tritium if you can't see the target because it's black outside? Didn't think of that, did you? You know what I'm saying? You better make sure you got a decent light on your gun, or a handheld, or you're carrying a handheld as well as a light on your gun. You better be. I am. Anyways, so I think that something good you guys should be doing for your teams. I want to give Tim Kelly and John Russo a shout out. They were phenomenal. We're going to take more training from them. If you guys are out in the SoCal area, if your teams are out in the SoCal area, I seriously recommend you look them up. My guys will put their website on the screen. But CCW Socal Incorporated, great cadre, great lineage, great background, the types of guys that you can learn a lot from, and the type of thing that I want the executive protection industry to begin doing on a regular basis, because the higher quality agents we have out there on the job doing the work, the more respect we can get, the more positive encounters we can have when the time comes and we're needed, and the more the more our industry and what we do for a living can be held in higher esteem. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to be doing this executive protection thing and all the stuff that we do, just remember it's more than just a job. It really is a lifestyle. So go on ahead and invest in yourself and invest in your teams. Get your guys trained and get your guys qualified with a high-level instructor that can vouch for everyone's ability, everyone's efficacy, everyone's potency and efficiency with firearms, because we carry weapons with consequence, not just for fun. Ladies and gentlemen, one last time, shout out to John Rousseau and to Tim Kelly of CCW Socal. Thank you so much. Your training was phenomenal. My team is better for it, and we're looking forward to the next stuff as we build upon our skills together. This is Byron Rodgers, protector by nature and by trade, speaking for Executive Protection Lifestyle. I'll see you all in the next video. Out. Boom.